Hey vinyl community, quick spontaneous hello. I just thought I'd come and show what I've been listening to lately and some new finds, so yeah, maybe you'll find something you like. So yeah, this was a cool find recently, The Apostles with Wisdom. It's just African, I think it's Nigerian. If my memory serves me correctly, I could be completely wrong and just completely spaced that, but anyway, 70s, just really, really cool, funky, soulful, upbeats. You know, if you like your Afrobeat type stuff, this is one to have. I just saw that cover and thought, how cool is that? I mean, look at these dudes. I was trying to work out what is on that guy's t-shirt, and I was like, is that Alice Cooper, or is that, who is that? I don't know. Anybody see? But yeah, check these guys out. Looks pretty cool to me. You know, he looks like a bass player. He looks pretty cool, maybe a drummer, but yeah. Good album, really good album. For some reason, the previous owner decided to rip the back sleeve for an unknown reason. I don't know if that was a creative choice or they just decided to use it for Rizzlers or what, I don't know, but yeah, a bit odd. But anyway, the music is what counts, and you don't exactly find these every day, so I thought I'd get it, and yeah, great album. Really cool. I'm slowly trying to accumulate, can't talk again, try and pick up all the African records I find, really all like the originals, because like I said, that you don't see them every day, and when you do, it's like gold dust around here, so I try and get them when I can afford them. But yeah, next one, David Bowie, Hello. It's even got the hype sticker on it still. Pretty cool. Featuring the hit single Sound and Vision. I've always loved that cover. That to me is like an iconic cover. I mean, it is really, isn't it? But look at that. I mean, just that beautiful orange, his cool hair, the angle, the clothes, everything. It just looks, I mean, look, even, you know, the fonts, the colours, everything about that is just, that is a perfect album cover, isn't it? Look at that. Back, not so great, but, you know, it's the front that counts when it comes to albums, I guess, if you're trying to sell it. But yeah, Sound and Vision, Be My Wife, you know, they're all great. The second side is like ambient, kind of atmospheric, ethereal type side, which I love. I love that side. You know, beautiful saxophone, gorgeous kind of atmospheric music. And the first side is just songs. But yeah, really cool vibe this album has, as I'm sure you probably know it. I don't know, there's only so much you can remember, isn't there? I can't remember if this was his heroin period, but it's quite, I don't know, it's not dark and depressing, but I guess it depends on your mood, I suppose. I don't find this album depressing at all, really. I enjoy it, but I could see if you're in the wrong mood how it could be kind of in the wrong headspace, how it might be a bit. But I don't find it so. I really enjoy it. Cool album, great. I just listened to this one earlier. Ry Cooder, Boomer's Story. I love Ry Cooder, as I've previously mentioned. This is the first Ry Cooder album I ever bought. Funny story, there was a guy, I used to live with my mum, and there was a guy that pulled up outside the house, and he had a car full of vinyl, and was trying to find somebody that he was selling these records to, and he was lost. And I was like, oh, I collect records myself, are they for sale? And he was like, oh yeah, have a look if you want. And this was one of the albums I bought from him. And I just thought that must have been fate. How cool is that? Like, how random is that a guy just shows up outside your door with a car full of vinyl? I was like, that is meant to be. So this album came into my life. This is the first Ry Cooder album that did come into my life. And not one I listen to regularly anymore, because I kind of bought all his other ones and have explored them and kind of listened to them more, because I kind of listened to this to death when I first bought it, because I loved it so much. But yeah, I listened to this once a night after a while, and I loved it again. I was like, wow, I remember this. This is fantastic. But yeah, brilliant. Just blues, acoustic blues, Americana, folk. It's more blues really, but just brilliant music. If you love Raikuda and have never tried this one, then you need to. It's brilliant. And if you've never listened to Raikuda, then this is a good place to start as well. So 1972, great album. I love that cover as well, just simple, classic, just simple font, great photo, black. I love that cover, so yeah, that's one to own. I listened to this one recently, first album by Electric Light Orchestra, ELO. This was when Roy Wood was still in the band. Now, I used to think this album was amazing. Now I just think this album is really good and it shows their potential. The classical kind of arrangements, I think they're ambitious, but I don't think they 100% pulled it off well. There's some interesting moments. There's some really, you get the beautiful melodies, of course, from Jeff Lynne and Roy Wood. Some beautiful, beautiful classic ELO style melodies that Jeff Lynne is known for. Even going back to the Idol Race before this, which is amazing as well, his band before ELO. So you get that, but like I say, they try more sort of classical arrangements and Baroque maybe. And it's good, but it doesn't quite do it for me 100%, but yeah, really good album though. I love the cover as well, really cool cover design. Yeah, that's an original on Harvest. But yeah, one to own if you're an ELO fan, have never tried it. You've got an open mind, why not? I listened to this one earlier, Robert Johnson, King of the Delta Blues Singers. Originally I believe this came out in America in 1961, but here we didn't get it until 66. I guess blues wasn't as known here, and then kind of there was a bit of a boom in the 60s, and then he got popular, and the rest is history. I imagine people like Eric Clapton, the Rolling Stones, those kind of bands, people, this was a big album for them, I'm sure, back in the day. Anyone that was into blues, Robert Johnson's an icon, of course. What can you say about him, really? If you know Robert Johnson, then you know he was a genius. If you don't know him, then check him out. This is a fun one. Sergio Mendes in Brazil 66. Great. It's literally impossible to be unhappy when this album is playing. If you're miserable, if you're depressed, stick this on, and within 30 seconds you'll be sambering around your house like it's Christmas, in Brazil. This is so fun, just really upbeat music, lovely, just classic music, Mas Que Nada, all the kind of classics of that kind of Brazilian genre. Herb Alpert presents, and there he is on the back. But yeah, a really fun one. Great music. It's an album you can find for cheap, and I guess it's not valued by hipsters, but fantastic music. It makes you feel great, that album. So yeah. Funkadelic, Uncle Jam Wants You. Look at that cover. I need to get one of those chairs. What are they called? Peacock chairs? I need to get one of those chairs, seriously. And a red beret / sunglasses combo as well. I don't quite know what that is. But yeah, anyway, he's got looks like some upside down legs as a armrest there as well, and he's dressed as a kind of general with white boots on. So yeah, the 70s. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Look at that inside cover. This is an original Italian copy of all things. I got this for £2 because the record looks like it's been played about 1 billion times, but because this record is about as thick as my head, it still plays fine. So this is really good. And there's the label. But yeah, fantastic album if you like funk, and that whole kind of cool vibe. Then yeah, an album to own. Brilliant. I'm not new to Funkadelic. You know, I've known about them for a long time, but I don't have a lot of their albums. But when I see them for a reasonable price, I try and pick them up. The originals seem to be really expensive, as you probably know. But yeah, when I find them, I get them. You know, Maggot Brain, what an album that is. Anthony Phillips, Wise After the Event. First of all, look at that cover. Isn't that wonderful? Great. There's lots of little things going on. They're on the moon, and there's like a little guy in a rowing boat, and just little quirky little things going on. A policeman chasing a UFO, a spaceship or whatever. It's just loads of little quirky little artistic things, which is really cool. And there's a same thing going on on the inside there as well. Like some spacemen in a vehicle saying, and there's like Lunar Hunt written on it, and they're like on a hunt there on the moon. That's pretty cool. But yeah, the music. Anthony Phillips was, I believe, the original guitar player of Genesis. Now I'm a big Genesis fan. You know, of all their albums really. I can't remember if Anthony Phillips was he on. Is it the first album only or second? First two maybe, I can't remember now. But anyway, original guitar player, and he made this solo album. I think this is his second solo album. I think Geese and the Ghost is the first one. I think that's what it's called. That's a great album as well, which I don't have on vinyl, which I need. But anyway, this is a great album as well. If you like, his voice reminds me of David Gilmour. This is very sort of chilled out 70s. Think like David Gilmour, Mike Oldfield, Genesis. There's a bit of a Genesis vibe to it as well. Yeah, just a really nice album. One you can find for cheap. If you like that whole kind of 70s prog, chilled. It's not like super progressive, you know, it's not like Genesis, the way it's arranged, but just it's a bit different, you know. It's a bit progressive in the sense that it's not standard rock. It's interesting. It's a little bit different. And it's a really nice, relaxing album. It's one of those albums that you just see and you pass over it and think it's nothing, but actually it's really good. And you can get it for nothing pretty much, I think. So yeah, check it out. Alan Parsons' project, Pyramid. Now, first of all, I love this cover. I think it's Hypnosis Design that did it. You know, Storm Thorgerson, who did like Pink Floyd's album covers. I don't know if he personally did this one, but I believe it's Hypnosis, his company that did it. It looks like a Hypnosis cover if it's not anyway. I think it is. But anyway, yeah, you know, that great glowing pyramid there. And it kind of opens up here on the back into a big image. And it's kind of got a window there open with the pyramid in the back, in the outside. And I like looking at it all. You know, you get like all the different things on the cabinet there, and just the way everything has been arranged there for a reason. And I like staring at it. It's pretty interesting. And there's a great collage on the inside as well. Alan Parsons is famous because he worked, I think he was an engineer, or he was involved in the production of like Dark Side of the Moon, Abbey Road, Let It Be. I mean, not bad, hey. And it's funny because on the inside here, talking about Pink Floyd, there's like this kind of like this thing going on here, which reminds me, you know, on the inside cover of Dark Side of the Moon, they had this kind of like almost like a heartbeat monitor thing going on the inside of that, don't they? Like a pulse. And he's got it on here. I wonder if that's like a reference from the artist, maybe. Maybe not, but I just thought that was interesting. But anyway, yeah. The music, not amazing, but good. The production is outstanding, as you might expect, given his background. If you've got a good sound system, this is a way to test it out. It sounds great. Musically, progressive type rock again, a bit like Anthony Phillips in the sense that it's not super progressive. It's quite poppy in its 70s, poppy in a way, in the sense that you could play these songs on the radio. I'm sure they were. I think he was very successful at one point. But yeah, they're just nice, progressive, chilled 70s rock songs if you just want to relax with something, not super groundbreaking, but just nice, a nice listen. Yeah, I think it's a nice album. I don't think it's particularly considered cool, but I don't give a damn about that. If you do, then you're not cool as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, anyway. This is one I got yesterday. I used to have this album for years. This is one of the first albums I ever bought when I got into vinyl. And then I sold it for some reason, during a purge. And I saw this at a record fair yesterday, and I thought, I'm going to get that back. And I'm glad I did, because I really like this album. It's Dickie Betts and the Great Southern. Dickie Betts is in the Allman Brothers Band. Fantastic guitar player. Famous, I guess, for Jessica, their song Jessica, but they're a lot more than that, obviously. In fact, that's the one Allman Brothers song I'm kind of sick of, really, because I've heard that a billion times, and I much prefer their other stuff. But but a great album, and it's funny because Don Johnson from Miami Vice co-wrote the last song on this album, which is really random. This was like 1977, this album, so this is way before Miami Vice. Miami Vice first season was 84. I'm a fan of the show, and but he's pictured here with Dickie. Maybe that's his mum or something, but he's pictured there. And also there's a shot here with a guy with a cream pie in his face, and that looks like Don as well, which is quite funny. But yeah, what a cool random thing. But yeah, quite a nice picture sleeve there in the sleeve. I always like this. Looking at all the different people, wondering who they are, and I guess that's his daughter, and got a picture of him, I guess his wife there as well. Beautiful lady by the looks of it. I follow his son actually on Instagram. He looks just like Dickie Betts. It's kind of freakish how much he looks like him when he grows a moustache. Yeah, a really nice album. Tasteful southern rock, great melodies, lovely music. Not cheesy to me at all, just really well done. If you like your Allman Brothers type stuff, then you'll love this one as well, I think. If you don't have it, then check it out, definitely. It's a really nice album. The Doors, Morrison Hotel. I love The Doors. I listened to a podcast with Robbie Krieger, the guitar player. There he is. And they were talking about The Doors and, times, the life and times of The Doors, and it inspired me to listen to this again. One of my favourites from them, a fantastic album all the way through, as all Doors albums are, really. Waiting for the Sun, Ship of Fools, basically Maggie McGill. Every song on this is fantastic. There's the great inside there. Cool bunch of dudes or what, huh? But yeah, what an album, what a band. I mean, just absolute genius, as I'm sure you're aware. You don't need me to tell you that, but really enjoyed that.